The film starts with a reasonable delineation of a war situation in a web video diversion. Several characters shape a party within the amusement, and one of them is Kwon Yoo, known by his in-game name Deju. Whereas at the cafe, he takes note, a ringing phone on the adjacent table. He picks it up and finds out that it has a place to a lady who incidentally cleared out her phone. There, she inquires for Kanye's offer assistance to return the phone, and offers him a reasonable sum of cash as a remunerate for the favor. Without any doubt, Kwon Yoo concurs to convey the phone to the area. She indicated small. Did he know that this blameless act would lead him into a lamentable circumstance? Sometime recently finding the phone, he received a call from his mother encouraging him to come domestic, but he chose to prioritize conveying the phone in step without any known reason. Kwon Yoo all of a sudden blacks out, and when he regains awareness, the police have arrived and arrested him. He is denounced of killing and assaulting an underage young lady. Kwon is incapable to protect himself at that minute because there is compelling proof counting. CCTV film follows of his sperm and his fingerprints found at the wrongdoing scene. Indeed, the DNA test comes about coordinate his and his confront. Finished up in each news, Kwon's mother solidly accepts that her child isn't a killer and frantically tries to contract a physically impeded open guard named Min Chun-song to speak to him in court. Be that as it may, the lawyer seems unwilling to assist and offers small help in spite of his mother's endeavors. Kwon Yoo is sentenced to life detainment for a wrongdoing he did not commit. He is sent to a tall security extraordinary prisoner cell in jail. His destiny remains horrid. Interior of the jail, he is as often as possible subjected to mishandle and torment by a few of the other prisoners, as he may be a modern detainee. Every so often his mother visits him and consoles him that she's working on demonstrating his guilt, as somebody has contacted her with prove that Q isn't blameworthy. Be that as it may, in no time after, Khan's attorney comes to visit and inquires for his signature. It turns out that Kwon Yoo's mother has abruptly been pronounced dead due to suicide. This news shocks and devastates Kwon Yoo, clearing out him indeed more sad. With the assistance of one of the prisoners known for being cannibal, Kwon Yoo is educated approximately how to elude without raising doubt. He harms the confront of an individual prisoner named Masu, who regularly torments him and takes after the cannibal inmates, enlightening to wound himself within the corner of his midriff without hitting any imperative organs, so that he will be taken to the healing center and can elude. The exciting story starts as Kwon Yoo begins his elude. Along the way, he experiences an African traveler who is on their vacation, but contains a broken-down car they obtained from a scrapyard. Seeing their bind, Kwon Yoo makes a difference. Them settle their car, and in return, the African traveler helps Kwon Yoo in sidestepping the police review. They indeed deliver Kwon Yoo the car as a blessing to help in his elude. Kwon Yoo meets with his lawyer to ask around his mother and gets a jewelry cleared out by his late mother. In any case, unbeknownst to him, the legal counselor had already reached the police and detailed Khan's whereabouts. Realizing this, Kwon Yoo instantly flees. He heads to a web cafe to hunt for information, and whereas checking his email, he gets a video from a programmer. The video contains proof demonstrating his guilt within the murder case. The programmer invites Kwon Yoo to assembly. Put at the meeting spot, an excellent lady named Yell shows up, to Kanye's shock. Yell could be a talented and alluring programmer who utilized to be his gaming buddy within the past. Yell offers to require Kwon Yoo to her alcove where she will help him. Whereas having a supper together, Yell educates Kwon Yoo that a few individuals will come to meet them. At first, Kwon Yoo is anxious, considering it may be police officers. Be that as it may, it turns out that they are all his gaming companions who were once near to him, counting Pulverization, Young Doza, and Yak Wee. Their reason in coming is to assist Kwon Yoo discover the individual who dishonestly charged him of the wrongdoing. Not as it were Kanye's case, but Yell moreover finds comparable cases through the CCTV. She hacked. She takes notes, something bizarre. In each of the cases she examines, there's continuously an obscure box truck display. At the areas of these cases, Yell traces the address of the box truck, driving them to a junkyard. Within the junkyard, Kwon Yoo spots a well-dressed man and chooses to take after him. Guideline his companion to keep observing the junkyard. They take after the man to a house where Kwon Yoo witnesses the man carrying a white coffin. Whereas sanitation laborers are to show out of the blue, Kwon Yoo finds numerous bloodstains interior of the house. In the interim, Pulverization calls him to illuminate that the car they were taking after has returned to the junkyard with a coffin interior and changed the appearance of the box truck sometime recently, clearing out once more. Devastation takes after the car and finds out that it takes the coffin to a tall building. They choose to invade the building by hacking its security framework. Once interior, Kwon Yoo enters one of the rooms guided by Yell and finds out it has a place to a popular celebrity. Inadvertently, Kwon Yoo finds the coffin there and chooses to open it, as it were to discover a dead body interior, which turns out to be the proprietor of the room. Yoel cautions him that there will be a few individuals arriving at the area, inquisitive and enthusiastic to discover out what is happening. Kwon Yoo covers up and watches as these individuals do something to the dead body. Kwon Yoo and his companion are stunned to see the culprits executing the same strategy. To outline guiltless individuals for murders, the culprits fastidiously arrange and execute their conspire, masking themselves and causing the casualties to pass out so they can get DNA and unique finger impression tests that impeccably coordinate the casualties. The engineer behind all of this is often none other than Kanye's attorney Min Chun-sung. He and his group are paid to carry out these activities to cover up somebody else's wrongdoings. For occasion, there was a kill case including a celebrated celebrity, and the genuine killer was the girl of effective company proprietor. The CEO paid Min Chong a considerable amount to cover up the truth. Kwon Yoo oversees to require a unique finger impression test from a picture outline at the wrongdoing scene and gives it to Yul to follow. He and his companion don't need the youthful young lady to endure the same destiny as Kwon Yoo did. They choose to take after her and caught her phone calls to see who she is in contact with. Before long, they caught a call from a lady whose voice sounds precisely just like the lady who inquired for Kanye's offer assistance to return her phone. Yell rapidly hacks into the woman's area and begins looking for her. Kane's interest of the lady is hindered when his companion arrives and takes her absent. He chases after them utilizing his car, and the police moreover connect within the interest after getting reports from the public. Unfortunately, Khan's car breaks down and slows down without further ado. After a truck comes and crashes into a police car, and it turns out the truck driver is Matsu, the prisoner who utilized to torment Kwon Yoo. Min Chun-song intentionally discharged Matsu to capture Kwon Yoo amid the chaos. Yoel takes note something and finds a GPS tracker joined to Kanye's mother's accessory, which was given by the lawyer. They choose to form a ramble to examine the legal counselor and courage, as there are numerous pieces of proof pointing towards him. Through the ramble, they catch discussions among the lawyer's representatives who are within the prepare of dispensing with proof related to the murders. Conduit long last realizes that his legal counselor himself coordinated the untrue kill charges against him. In brief, Min Chun-song gotten data almost the area of the wrongdoing scene, which had as of now been altered with by K and his companions. Min Sun-sand didn't allow up. He changed the area of the wrongdoing scene essentially. Kwon Yoo and his companions didn't grant up either. Decided to thwart the lawyer's arrange, they manipulated the wrongdoing scene by swapping the guiltless lady with the real killer, using swapped evidence from the fingerprints and everything. It didn't halt there. Kwon Yoo called the attorney and went to his office. He stood up to the legal counselor, and after a physical quarrel, he overseen to recover vital proof. A recording that uncovered Min Chun-song's association in surrounding blameless individuals for the wrongdoings. In any case, it took a long time to exchange the huge measured record. When Min Chun-toon woke up, he uncovered that he had really murdered Kwon Yoo's mother abruptly. Kwon Yoo gotten a call from Ma Dsu, who had taken his companions prisoner at their alcove. Kwon Yoo promptly went to their area to spare them. Upon arriving at the alcove, Kwon Yoo cut off the power, diving the put into obscurity. Utilizing his taekwondo aptitudes, he scattered rice grains to tune into the enemy's positions and rapidly crushed them all. Kwon Yoo and his companions overseen to elude in spite of the fact that they were still being chased by their followers in the midst of the chase. Min Hun Melody proceeded his evil ways and surrounded Q by setting up a trap, including a young lady named Chui Ri, utilizing CCTV film of Ku with a young lady. Once they come to the TV station building, they arranged there another move and isolated their assignments in like manner, rather like in a diversion. They worked together buying time for EO Fleece to hack into the framework. They started their mission overcoming their foes one by one, utilizing the procedures they were commonplace with from their gaming encounters. Be that as it may, two of Kanye's companions were caught by the police, and Yul was captured by Oksu. Kwon Yoo couldn't permit that to happen. He sought after Modok Su's car and effectively protected Yul. Taking her to a secure put Kwon Yoo incapable to elude distant was in the long run, caught by the police taking off Min Chun-toon. Greatly satisfied and pleased, but his bliss was brief. Lived as Yule, who was still at the TV station, overseen to hack into the lawyer's data and arranged to broadcast it on live TV. She succeeded within the hack since the hacking gadget Kwon Yoo had already planted was still associated. Downloading the data without the fiendish lawyer's information, all their wrongdoings were clarified, like ordinary news programs. The genuine truth is that Koo is blameless. The proof from the CCTV film appears that the murders were committed by an affluent businessman's girl, and there's a recording of the CEO guideline Min Chun-toon to cover up his daughter's case. Moreover, the proof of the kill and assault cases that have been uncovered focuses to an affluent individual named Stop Y1's child as the culprit. In any case, Kwon Yoo, an unemployed person, was made the substitute. Within the conclusion, Kwon Yoo and his friends' endeavors were not unsuccessful. Indeed, in spite of the fact that Kwon Yoo misplaced his cherished mother amid his journey for equity, he was able to rejoin with his online gaming friends whom he had never met within the genuine world. At the conclusion of the story, there's a scene in which the psychopathic legal counselor, Min Chun Melody, meets Ma Dsu, the detainee, who had tormented Kway sometime recently, and the movie ends here.